Hello, Hakim here with Takeoff Experts. Today I want to talk to you about making money in wall vinyl installations. So if you are a painting contractor and you get a set of drawings, which of course includes painting, and there's also a section for wall vinyl coverings, you should not hesitate to bid on the wall vinyl coverings part of the project because there is some money to be made here. I'm speaking from personal experience. So there was a project, for example, one time where we had to renovate a certain portion of a hospital, and it was a geriatric sort of a hospital, and there was all the renovations, of course, but there was also painting and there was wall vinyl coverings. So what I did is I gave a quote for the painting part and for the wall vinyl part of the project, and I got awarded both the wall vinyl and the painting. So there was a little bit of money that I made on the wall vinyl coverings. Now my painters rather didn't do any wall vinyl coverings, so what I did is I just subbed out the wall vinyl covering part of the project to a wall vinyl installer and his partner, and there was a little bit of markup that was left for me while I was busy doing other painting work with my painters at another job site. So there is some money to be made in wall vinyl projects. It's not very difficult. You just have to know what the quantities are, what the types of wall vinyl is, and what your cost of getting everything installed is going to be, and then you submit your bid. So that's in a nutshell. So let's look at this project here as a sample. So we are going to look at this section of a high-rise building. So here is a high-rise building, and this is a typical floor, and we are going to just take a look at this hallway here, which is appearing in a dark brown color. So you can call it a hallway. Actually this is a lobby area, but it's kind of difficult to make a rendition of a lobby because we don't want to put any furniture here in this rendition, so you understand. So here's an extract from the spec manual. As you can see, there are different types of wall vinyl coverings. There's 5 here. Each one is different, and some of them are even from a different supplier. And the VW1 will be installed on this wall here, which is flashing in orange. And then there is this hallway here, and by the elevator you'll see, even when you go in some buildings, there is some wall vinyl covering on the elevator door wall. So this one is VW2 in this case. It says here elevator lobby. It's from the manufacturer RT. So when I show you the spreadsheet later, you'll see all the specifications of this wall vinyl. It will be listed in there. Okay, so let's go into this suite here now. In this suite in the living room, there's a third kind of wall vinyl covering, which you see again here. It's kind of a darkish brown color, and that's just one wall, so it's like an accent wall. And this one is VW4, and the series collection is called Kelly's Olson. So when we do the tech cost, we list all of that in the spreadsheet. And then in the bottom you can see there is tiles and there is wall vinyl. So I'm just going to pause over here and mention a little bit about tiles. Obviously you will not be doing tiling if you are a painting contractor, but for those who do tiling projects, what we do is we measure the tiles on the floors as well as on the walls. And in some areas, instead of baseboards, there is tile pieces used as baseboards. So we measure all that. So we do tiling takeoffs also. Okay, so you can see this wall vinyl here is a little bit different in the bottom. It has a flowery sort of design. Some architects choose these kinds of designs based on the kind of building who is going to be occupied by. So here is all the wall vinyl types listed, and the square footages are measured and included over here. So this is a little takeoff tab. You can see that it goes from first floor, second floor, and so on. And then we just total up all the measurements from Bluebeam review, and then we include it here. So let's go to the wall covering calculations tab. So you can see those numbers have been transferred over here for VW1 to VW5, and we put separate columns here to show you how much material will need to be ordered, what the approximate shipping cost is, what the installation price is, and so on. Now it's up to you to change that, because in your city the pricing may be different. So we don't put pricing, we just put the measurements. So with these measurements, of course, all wall vinyl types are different measurements, and then we have to round them up, because when you order your material, you will not be ordering exact quantities. So we divide the square footage by the inches, because some rolls come 52 inches wide, some rolls come 40 inches wide, some are 27 inches wide, and so on. The wall vinyl width will influence how many linear yards of wall vinyl covering you will have to order, because some suppliers, for example, can cut the wall vinyl in 15-yard increments, and we have to put a formula that will determine how many 15-yard rolls you need to buy. And if it's not mentioned in the spec, you can go to the website and you can very easily check what the dimensions are. So this website, for example, here with RT International, tells you how many inches wide each type of wall vinyl covering is going to be. So anyway, we convert the square footage into installed quantity yards, and then using this formula here, and then after that we are going to calculate how many yards you will need to order, because when wall vinyl is being installed, as you can see in these photographs, there's always going to be a little bit of wastage, because your wall vinyl installer is going to cut off some pieces which cannot be used. So it's a little bit different from painting, as you can see. You can't use a portion of it anywhere else. So your wastage is going to be 8 to 15%. So we will determine what the wastage is based on what the specifications are, because you see there's doors and windows here which are flashing in yellow, which will necessitate cutting off some pieces of wall vinyl, which is going to go to waste. So if there's a lot of that stuff, then we can change the wastage from 8% to 12%, and we will show you on the material wastage. Again, you can change it if you want to, but I would recommend to go on the plus side rather than the minus side. So in this case, the supplier is willing to cut 15 yards without charging extra. So this is the amount of materials you would be ordering, and if there's a shipping cost, it has to be put over there in the shipping cost column, depending on how far your wall vinyl is coming from, right? Whether you're buying it from your city or whether you have to order it from outside of your city. And then I want to talk a little bit about a minimum installation charge over here. So after we determine all the material price, we'll put the installation price over here. In one project I paid $10 per linear yard, so your pricing in your city may be a little bit different. So we do that over here, and then as you can see, there is the installation cost per yard column, and you can change that to whatever you want. In this case, I've put $10. Again, it might be a bit different in your city. It could be $8 a yard, it could be $12 a yard, but $10 seems to be the approximate market price right now. And then we put the formula here. Now, the minimum installation charge, we just put it over here because we use this as a standard because some projects are very small and the wall vinyl installer isn't going to come and work by the hour. He's going to charge you at around $800 for 1 day of work for 2 guys because they have to set up their cutting machine and so on. So the cost per day is going to be $800. But this is just for the smaller projects or small sections if this building is going to be done in small sections. Okay, so then we transfer all the information into the spreadsheet and we list the specs of the wallpaper or the wall vinyl rather. Sometimes there is wallpaper. So in this case there's 5 different kinds of wall coverings. And we list them here so it's easy for the painting contractor or the wall vinyl contractor to contact his supplier and say, look, this is the wall vinyl I need, this is the approximate square footage or rather the approximate linear yards I need, how much is it going to cost me? And then the wall vinyl supplier is going to supply the pricing for the actual material, the shipping, and how many yards they'll be cutting for you. So it's always good to order a little bit extra because if you look at some spec manuals, you'll see that the architect will require 1 extra roll of wall vinyl to be left at the end of the contract for future usage. So if there is such a thing, then we do mention it here in the takeoff spreadsheet. So this video isn't meant to kind of teach you how to do takeoffs or how to do measurements. I'm just trying to tell you that if you're a painting contractor, you can also bid on the wall vinyl covering part of the project and sub it out to a wall vinyl installer and make some money. So keep on bidding on those projects and we'll see you in the next video.